Namaskara, good evening. It's 4 o'clock. Thank you for joining on time. Several of you have joined on time. And it's a pleasure, it's an honor, it's a privilege for me to introduce our guest this evening. He is somebody whom everyone who has stayed in Bangalore will know, who would have also seen, but won't know he is the person behind what I call chutney plus plus. ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಅ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಓ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಎ ಬಿ ಯು ಹರ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಬಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ನೋಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಿನ್ಸ್ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಸೊ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟಾಕ್ ಟುಡೇ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅ ಲೆಜೆಂಡರಿ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ a person, I don't know how to describe him, a gentleman definitely, a philanthropist who has spent a lot of time in creating and restoring multiple places of worship like temples and other things, who's built institutions, who's built a business from I think the tender age of 15 or 16. He will share that story with you. Somebody who has scored 100 out of 100 in accounting or close to that, who self-learned, who took time to do classes in the evening and develop himself because he was committed to his family and his family business. Building an institution doesn't come to everybody as it comes to Mr. Adiga. Mr. Ramakrishna Adiga, or RK as he is called, is an icon in his own right. The government of Karnataka has released a commemoratory stamp on this iconic Brahmin's coffee bar, which has been open for more years than I can remember. My earliest memory of Brahmin's Coffee Bar was in the years 1978 to 80 when I was studying in National College. Mr. Adiga is of course my junior, only junior in age. He's a senior in everything else. In terms of his achievements, in terms of what he has contributed to society, and in terms of what he has built as an institution that all of us will remember. Brahmin's Coffee Bar has been serving Bangaloreans among the best breakfast. ತಿಂಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕು. Items may be 4 or 5, but from 1978 till 2020, the chutney is amazing. The idli is amazing. The kara bath is amazing. I don't eat kesari bath. The kesari bath also once in a while, if I have a spoon, it's amazing. You don't get sambar there, you never complain. You get vada there, it's lovely. Usually ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನು 2 ಕಪ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 2 ಕಪ್ ಚಟ್ನಿನೂ ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ. That's the institution that has been built by this gentleman. Apart from hoteling, he has done so much more to society, contributed so much more in terms of art, restoration, temples, culture, philosophy. Without any further ado, let me welcome Mr. Ramakrishna Adiga, RK as he is known, the smiling face, who starts its day at 4 or 4:15 every morning, whether it is rain or shine or summer or winter, except on Sunday. 6 days a week he is there. The first person to come in probably into the hotel and the last person to step out of the hotel, which shows you what consistency is, what commitment is. You cannot build an institution without hard work. Over to you, sir, to share your words with us, to inspire us to follow the kind of footsteps that you have set on the path to excellence. Adiga, you have to unmute. Mr. Adiga, you have to unmute.
Thank you so much for welcoming to this session, Ms. Mandara. To start with, I would like to say my name is Radha Krishna Adiga. It is not Ramakrishna Adiga. And the second correction is you took it from 1975 to 2020. My father started at the age of, in 1965, January 27th. So the history goes back to 56 years and plus of some months. So as a father, my father came to Bangalore in 1935. For his living, he started doing a lot of other works like as a priest, he worked as a cook for some judge's house. He worked with them. And then finally, he started a small canteen in Bangalore City Institute, which is a very famous one right now. It completed 100 years. So there, for sometimes he did a small canteen. Then he came out and started a small, with a partnership with my cousin, his cousin in fact. So there also he could not succeed. Then he started his own in a small way in a Chamrajpet. There also he failed. Then while he was passing through for his house, he saw a small car garage which was ready for by the owner itself. Then he went and requested the owner saying that I am so and so, I wanted to do a small canteen in a different way. So everybody laughed at him when he said that he is going to start a canteen while standing and eating. So this standing and eating concept to Bangalore brought by my father. So when he started, everybody laughed at him. People are ready, not ready to go and sit also, so where people can come and eat by standing. So he had a visualize. Maybe it's a coincidence also. So then he started making only coffee and some of the bakery items from Vishweshwarapuram. It is called very famous bakery called VB Bakery. So after successful of coffee taste and other things, people started asking for you make some other items like karabat or whatever idli like that. My mother is a good receptionist. She makes a lot of good tasteful items. So she made a chutney for karabat. So the chutney was main successful for our small hotel. So then in a way in 1971 my father started making idli and the vada and the karabat and the kesari bath. At the age of 9, I joined him while schooling itself. In 1972, I started coming to the hotel. So then I started learning as well as going to the school also. So then we were not given a place to even for our childhood also. He used to be very strict. He said, no, you cannot go out. You start working, you study at home. Don't join your friends also, you will be get spoiled. So that was the reason I stick to this principle. But I never regret for that because today he has given me a very good position in the society and as well as a business also. So slowly I started completing my degree. After SSLC, I joined evening college. So in the evening college, I was forced to go for accountancy classes in the tuition, where I was really made this one ashamed of this one because the master asked me, "Have you brought the fees?" But I said, "Sorry, sir, I will bring it tomorrow." Then the minute I sat in my seat, he asked me for a question which I could not reply. Then he started saying, he made me really fun of me, saying that this is a class for co-education and you come here only for the enjoy that one. So you are not fit for this class. You just walk out, he said. Then I took it very positively. I told him, no, sir, I will keep up my words from next time onwards. So that was the beginning of my turnover in my lifetime. So from that day onwards, I took a oath. I started working. I was started studying up to 1:30, 2 o'clock in the night and get ready by 4:30 for my duty. So there I never failed. It's a very successful story before that. After that, I never turned back my lifetime. So this is how my journey started. Then after the completion of the degree as a BCom degree holder, I got into a love affair with my neighbor. I got married at the age of 21. It's before 21 only I got married. So I enjoyed the life. Never regretted in my lifetime. So I keep on thinking about my positivity in my life. Never turn back and saying that negative will never give a reply for you. So for every problem, every this one in the life, there is solution. So we have to find the solution. So I kept on digging where I am and what I am. So that is how my journey started, sir.
Tell us a little bit about how you've been able to be so consistent. You're getting these marks in your BCom. Your teacher told you you've just come there to waste time. But tell us a little bit about how do you study for so many hours, get up in the morning, go at 4 o'clock and stand there at the canteen, get everything done, get the thing organized, work non-stop, again in the evening, go to class. you managed to get 90 plus. So tell us a little bit about that work,
I
effort. What
got
is it?
almost 100 out of 100 in accountancy all the 3 years and the BCom, final first year, second year, third year. See, there you during those times there were 5 problems to be solved out of the 6, each problem carrying 20 marks. So when I started working in the night, I used to look into all the books which was referred by my master. So whenever he takes a problem saying that Rama and Krishna were partners in a firm called ABC, then he used to say this is page number 237, B.V. Raman, like that. So then I used to remember all the figures also. So the minute he completes the problems dictating, I used to make a reply and say, sir, your answer is ready. So I used to be like that. So because I was challenging him. See, whatever you give, I will do it faster than anybody else in the class. So that was the beginning for my change. I used to be always wanting to number one, and there was one Mr. Y.N. Krishnamurthy from Kannada Prabha. He was the chief editor of Kannada Prabha. He used to come to my place every day, and he used to love my service and always say, "You are the best in this one." And he used to advise me, whatever the work you do, you should be number one in doing that job. For example, if you are a barber, you should be number one in getting that job. If you are a sweeper, you should be number one in that, because nobody should find a small error also in doing that. So that very strongly, deeply entered in my mind. So I started doing my job in a very perfection way. And for that, my elder brother also was one of the reason. A small mistake if I make, he used to always uh, hit me on my head, saying that you are doing wrong thing. So that is how it has happened.
I have another question for you. Every morning you get up, and every morning you seem to bring a smile on your face. You begin your day with Suprabhatam and say, let it be a good morning and positivity. A lot of our young boys and girls get tired doing the same thing for 5 years. But if I go by your thing, I was wrong in the time it started. I think when I was roaming around Bangalore, you were already in business. And
I
you're
always have
working
a
hard.
small
How do you keep this
this one
motivation
in my
every day?
mind. I don't have the word called the tiredness or impossible in my mind. So even if I sleep at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the night, my alarm is always at 1:30, I mean 4:30, without any stopwatch saying to wake me up by 4:30. So it is a mindset always, without any hesitation, I get up by 4:30, and the minute I get up, no question of tiredness or whatever. If I sleep for 30 seconds also, I get my energy back. So that is how I sleep, or I always tell my people in the office, I have a travel office I had earlier. I used to go to the office for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, tell them I will sleep seconds. If I don't get up by 30 seconds, you wake me up. By the time he comes to my place, I will already have gotten. So that is how I used to be always mindset in my clock. I have traveled many times every week to Tirumala. When I start from Bangalore, I give the time in the toll gate, saying that I will reach by so and so time. I may be 1 minute or 2 minutes late, or maybe early, without any, depending upon the traffic conditions also. Somehow it works in my mind. Without looking into my watch, I don't tie watch also. Without looking into my, I will always say I will reach by 2:17, 2:18, like that. I give that time. I will not say 2:15 or 2:30 like that. So I give every minute. That is very punctuality about that. And when I open my hotel, I will say always I open it by 5:15, and I will never say at 6 o'clock. You can challenge me anytime. I am always punctual. I may be even 5 minutes earlier than 5:59. Like that, time is very important for everybody, because if you stick to principle in life, you can achieve a lot of things in your life. That is what I used to tell my daughter. She's also not like that. She always gives reasons for everything. I have been telling her to say, you stick to time. Time is very, very, very important. You stick to time. I always tell her.
I agree, sir. There's one more principle of yours which I've always liked and admired. And it's not possible to do this unless you're honest. A lot of people start something and then afterwards things change. They become greedy. The quality of the food goes down. We have seen many restaurants start like that. For 40 years or more, if you're consistent, it means there's something called honesty in your life. Tell us a little bit about what you believe about honesty.
This is not because of me. This is because of my parents who have educated me like that. So that I followed it very over a period of time, and that has become a part of my life now. So it has given me everything in what I wanted in my life. So I will never used to dilute. I never used to make it dilute also. I wanted to be very punctual, stick to principles. Whatever you want to give good stuff, you have to give to the customers and love your customers so that because they are made us to become like this. Because they started loving our items, I could be always very smiley with them to make it very better, 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 better every day.
Apart from this, the people always say businessmen take shortcuts, but what I've heard is you never take a shortcut. You're always honest when it comes to whatever it is, whether it's taxes, this, that, or the other. Can you tell us a little more about that honesty and that principle of yours?
See, if you want to grow, definitely you have to be very principled, you have to be very punctual, and you have to pay whatever the government taxes is there. That if you don't pay, there is no shortcut in life. If you start by what do you call it as saving a small part of it, ultimately you will be end in paying a little more than what you have saved. So, and if you don't have respect for the government or whatever that is one law, then you cannot even achieve anything in your life. By saving a small amount, you will be losing your dignity and other things. So I always have that principle to go, whatever it may be. I even teach my boys also, youngsters who are working with us, don't go behind the money. Money should always follow you. So stick to principles. You can live peacefully. Without that, this one principles in life, you cannot achieve anything. You may get a little pleasure only during those times, but ultimately end up in always suffering you. So please don't do all those shortcut methods. Stick to principles. I always tell them.
Wonderful, sir. There's another angle of yours which I'd like you to share with people. You've done a lot for culture, restoration of art, be it whether in temples or in multiple other places. You've been very charitable, you've been philanthropic. A lot of people just like to build empire and empire and empire. I've seen you as a man who wears always a dhoti and a shirt. A lot of people could wear a big suit and go around in whichever way they like. But I think you like giving as much as perhaps more, you give more. Why is that?
By sharing your revenue or whatever, you get enjoyment. If you don't, if you keep on storing your money and whatever, ultimately you'll be thinking always how to make it double, double, double like that. But ultimately you will not be enjoying what you have earned for yourself. By giving you, when I give a lot of enjoyment, by giving my this one revenues to other, I get a lot of pleasure and always love to do it because a lot of people need support from, because they are all been not getting it from the society. So whatever extra I have, by sharing them, I think we can get a peaceful life in our lifetime. And leading a very simple simplicity life, I get enjoyment. So that is why I don't like past life, fast life. I don't like all those things. And doing lot of things to the temple, we get dedication and other things. So I always prefer to do, I visit always temples and do a lot of good things in my lifetime.
I've been fortunate to know a little bit about the restoration work you have done in one temple in South Canara, where you talked about recreating something which is very historic and very momentous. And I'm sure somebody like you believes in the universality of religion. It doesn't matter whether you're a Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim. At the end of the day, you have to be a good person. So someone like you who's done so much, can you tell us a little bit about this project which you did in South Canara near your hometown?
2004, my father passed away. So after the rituals, we have to visit the temple. So when I visited the temple, the one of the dharmadhikari came and asked me, see, this is the idol which has been totally damaged during this Muslim period and other things, Hindu-Muslim Galata. So when he requested for 5 kilos of silver, so I just said, yes, okay, let me think about it. I just came back to the Bangalore, and when I went back with the person who makes all the idols and other things, so there was a small negotiation, and I got an inspiration when the Arati was happening. So then I took it very positively and said, let me do it. So initially it was started with a small quantity of money. Then it went for a very big project. Without my knowledge, it kept on going, and the God was so kind to me. It got completed. Then later, then again, the temple was very old, about more than 700, 800 years old. Then I thought I should do something for this temple, because from this temple only our hotel name is also named as Shankar Narayana Prasanna. So that is the village and the temple also. Then I slowly started thinking about making it little better than what it was. And with the support of one Mr. Devi Shetty's brother-in-law, Mr. What is his name? Uh, trying to Manohar Shetty. He is also one of the trustee for the temple. So we joined together and started making it very neatly, and we completed the temple in 11 months. And at the age of when my daughter was 1 month old in 1994 January, she was born. So suddenly I just thought of going to visiting Tirupati in 1994 February. So without my knowledge, it started going every week. So from 1994 January, February till today, by the grace of God, I have been going every week to Tirumala without fail. But for this, what is called it as from March 20th to June 8th, I did not go because of the COVID pandemic. So now also I am compromising those due darshans. In a week, I am having 4 darshans in a week by His grace. So hopefully I may be doing it for another 15 years, because I have a ticket for another 15 years every week.
That shows a lot of commitment in terms of habit, which is one thing that I would like to tell all of us. I mean, remind myself and everyone who is listening. We basically are nothing but the habits we develop. We develop good habits, we continue to do good things. So, what are the tips you have for people like who are listening to us, the youngsters and everybody? How do you develop a habit and how do you keep that commitment?
The younger generation is always behind something very, rosy like that, all those things. Let them enjoy the life. But in the meantime, they should know what are their elders have done before that. Without this, all these rosy things also we can survive. So whatever the good things you want to do, you do it. But people are always fascinated with the bad habits and other things. Once they stick to the bad habits, they cannot come out. That is the biggest challenge with them. That is the age where they get spoiled. So my request with the younger generation is stick to some principles, basics, not to go for something which is very bad in the nature. Love your neighbors, love your people. Always stick to do some out of your pocket, share it with people, so that they can also enjoy their life, because they are also not because of their this one, maybe because of their destiny, they may be not getting it in their life. So whatever you little have extra, please share with them, so that they can also live very peacefully. And by sharing, what you get pleasure, you don't get by spending it on other things which is not good for your health and other things. So do something good to people when you are born as a human being. So that is very important. Doing some good things in life is very important in your life.
That's very encouraging, sir, and I'm sure some of us at least will follow it, if not all of us. There's one question I have for you. I never believed it when I heard it first. Someone told me that you take up a challenge and then nothing can stop you. And one such challenge you took up was to build a house in 6 or 7 days, I forget now. How do you make these things possible? In 6 or 7 days, I don't think I can do anything. Don't think I can take a decision to say whether I want to eat dosa today or upma tomorrow. What is this project of yours and how did you accomplish it in 6, 7 days?
I
Tell us
should
about it.
thank to Mr. Manohar Shetty, who is the one reason behind that, who is the brother-in-law of Mr. Devi Shetty. He is into construction company. So when we joined together to make the temple at Shankar Narayana, we were traveling to Sringeri, and that was on 26th July. That was on 2013. So 2013 August 1st was my birthday. So the 50th birthday. So I was just discussing with him, saying that for the 50th birthday, I wanted to construct a house in my farmhouse in Kanakapura. Then he said, how many days is still there? He said, he asked me. I said, 7 days. He said, I will build it, he said. I could not believe it. On the seventh day, exactly after 6 days on the morning, he called me and gave me the key, which is totally completed. All the people connected with the construction company regarding electricians, plumbers, whatnot, everybody was there. And all the items were selected over the WhatsApp. So he was so dedicated to complete. In fact, I should thank him because he's the one gentleman who completed the project of Narendra Modi's project of 1,000 crore project in Afghanistan, a dam. It was completed 1 year ahead. I normally the big project like that will take minimum 1 or 2 years escalated and it will be postponed. He completed the project 1 year before and he made a house for me in 6 days. I could not believe in myself. That was his challenge. It is not my challenge. I requested him, he did it, in fact.
Challenge is yours or his, but you're a man who decides that you have to do something and you go after it. I think that is dedication, that is determination, and those are the qualities that in this gathering, as we listen to you speak and you have shared your story, comes out to us. What I'll do right
I
now
have a
is
farm in Kanakpura, which is about 60 kilometers from Bangalore, my place, where it was totally a rocky area. Then I took a challenge and I made it, I removed all the very big boulders and all things, got all the mud from the tank which was very close by, filled it with mud and other things, made a farm, and I planted the coconut trees, which was 3 years old from Andhra Pradesh. It started yielding me within 6 months. So those are all the things which I took it as a challenge. In fact, all the mango trees, all those things I took it from there. All the big trees which has been planted there for more than 2 years. So I started reaping the benefits of the farmhouse, which was my dream. In fact, whatever we do, you should enjoy it. Earlier days, if a person planted a coconut tree, it used to give 20 years later. Now, when then the time has changed, why not we make a use of it? I just decided. So I brought all the plants which are almost more than 3 years, 4 years like that, planted up. Now filled up with all, totally the area is totally filled up with the green trees. And I never waste any single rupee product from there. I consume it. I think because the farmer is cheated because a middleman is enjoying the benefit. So I decided what I want to grow, I consume myself always.
So I think now we know two things. The secret of the Brahmin's chutney is, of course, the recipe that your mother made, which you revealed to us and said that, of course, you have not revealed the recipe, but you revealed the secret behind why it is so nice and how people started liking it for the Karabat. The second secret is perhaps the coconut comes from Kanakpura in your own farm. So quality and ingredients are controlled.
It is not all the coconuts from Kanakpura, but some of them come from whenever it is ready for cutting. And the major reason behind that is involvement yourself. And the second thing is we add love and affection for our customers, which makes it very much tastier than the other hoteliers, in fact.
I think all of us listening to the show must take one thing. We all work for a customer. In Saskin, we work for many customers. You work for many, many, many customers. So what I hear up to now is you have to be honest, you have to be humble, you have to be hardworking, and you have to love your business, you have to love your customers. Those seem to be the mantras for success. There is no other shortcut as per what you have said. So with your permission, what I'll do now is I will open the floor up for some questions because I've been having a conversation with you. Many people don't have this privilege. So I will open it up. There are a number of attendees. Can you please? Jayadatta. Namma Mysuru Jayadatta. Question Kelappa. Jitendra Nagpal.
Yes, Swami. I don't have a question, but I came to know a lot of new facets about Mr. Radhakrishna today. I have been a fan of his, the joint at Shankar Math, and I used to go with my father after swimming at Basongadi. And even 2 weeks back, I went there. I've always been fascinated by his memory. I recall there used to be around 10-15 people placing their order, and he would recall exactly what each person ordered and provide it to them, and also, accurate bill information. I would really admire Mr. Raghavendra for that. But today I have come to know of a lot more new facets, and including his visits to Tirupati is excellent to hear about.
One more thing, Jitu, he has not told us. If he looks at a currency note, he can remember the number, and if it's a fancy number, he will keep it. And he will give you, if you know it's a telephone number, the minute the currency number comes with your telephone number, he'll keep it for you and give it to you, Jitu. So he has a computer, CPU. That's one thing. Jayadatta, any questions from you?
Why is there no sambar?
Why no sambar, sir? One question. That has been asked many, many, many times, and Mr. Adiga will tell once again why no sambar. Heli, sir.
When we started the hotel, it was hardly about 250 square foot area. It was a very small area. Sambar needs to have, because it will be hot, always. You need a place to keep and eat. So that facility we did not have because it's a standing and eating place. Then my father said, we make chutney in a liquid state. So that will be very tastier than this one, because we should serve the idli hot, then the chutney should be this one. Other hotels make other way. They give idli very cold and put the sambar, hot sambar over it. So that's the difference between us. So I keep a statement saying that we serve chutney like sambar.
I drink your chutney like sambar anyway, sir. Dinesh,
In
Veena,
fact,
you've
a
been
lot
Bangalore
of
for a
people
long
while
time.
going on the walking, we keep chutney outside. They come and take a glass of chutney and drink and go away.
Veena, you've been a Bangalorean for a long time. Veena, any questions from you?
How do you compete with other idli joints?
Can you speak a little louder, Veena? We can't hear you yet, Veena. Jayadatta, any questions from you? Jayashankar, James, anybody? Arunlal?
I think Saeed has put a question here saying, how do you compete with other idli joints like Shanti Sagar or others?
I always have a statement called, we have no comments on other competitors. So we keep our quality and this one. So for that we need to keep a good pricing. For a good quality, if you want to give, and a good service, you need to keep a very good standards. You have to keep good pricing. So pricing is very, very important. And that is why I keep always telling I have no comments on my competitors. For
Swami sir,
that, I always give you a small example. A insect turning around with a light on the street light. Finally, it falls down, but the light remains same always. So like that.
this is a boardroom answer, Swami sir.
No, this is a practical answer, because I have been eating in many, many places also. I like idlis a lot, but why talk about competitors? When your product is number one, why do you want to even think of somebody? Somebody else may think theirs is number one, but you believe yours is number one. That's the correct way.
Because the end of the product remains same. It's idli, vada, sambar. It's same, but how do you differentiate? Because the ingredients are same, but there are people who run to this place to eat. So it's pretty perplexing actually.
Tell us, sir, what do you think is the magic? Mr. Adiga?
Yeah.
What is the magic?
It is not magic. It is a practical life, If you want to give good quality, you have to keep a good pricing. That is why we keep on, because our boys are also stick to our hotel employment since almost 30 years, 35 years. For them also, we have to take care of them, for their life and their family, everything we take care of them. So for that, we need to have a good pricing. Without that, we cannot retain them in our employment. So everything adds to costing. So that is why we keep better pricing and good quality also.
There you go, Syed. You heard the
Yeah.
answer. If your product is
Yes.
good, charge premium price.
Right.
And people will pay premium if the quality is good. And of course, there's a magic ingredient which he did not mention. That magic ingredient is called love your customer.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we have
Yes,
Raghava,
Swami.
Gopala Krishna, Rajni, Raju. Any questions?
Yeah, Swami, one question from Arun Lal. Hi, this is Arun. Sir, you mentioned about adding love and affection to your product to keep the customer happy. But how do you retain this even through your employees also? How do you make sure that your employees are also loving your customer?
Definitely, sir. We have been training them from the beginning. So whenever they come to the employment, we tell them you should not be harsh to the customer. You should start whatever their requirement is there. So whatever they ask for, with a good smile, you have to serve. All those things is a product which is very important for our hotel industry, because the neighbor in the neighbor area you have a lot of hotels. There are so many hotels around you, but why people come to you is only because of your service and the quality and your smile. So if you start fighting with them, they will avoid coming to your place. In fact, you should see, in spite of all our heavy crowd, I claim always the people saying that if you are here for more than 3.5 minutes, we will refund your amount. So that is our challenge. So we will never make them feel that they are, in fact, neglected or whatever. So each and everybody who is pointed out, if he is coming for more than every day, every time, so we, though if the queue is little far more, from the long distance itself, we call them very close to us and we'll serve them first. We will not even bother about the money. We will not take over their tokens also. We will serve them first. So they will feel very proud. He has been recognized, all those things. So this is how we have retained our customers for a long time.
Okay, okay. So you have a premium customers, you identify them, serve them specially.
Especially if you start meeting the customer every day, they will feel very proud. They have been identified. That is
See, Arun, I have an open challenge for you. You go to Brahmins on 10 weekends or less. I don't
Right.
know. 11th weekend, Mr. Adiga will recognize you. He will smile at you. If you
Okay.
make an effort to know who he is, now that you've seen his picture and you talk to him, he will remember your name. This is my guarantee. If not, I will give you 1 year's worth idli free. Daily you can eat. I'll pay the bill. Every
Sadhika
day
sir.
you go eat 2 idlis, I will pay the bill. No problem. Open challenge. Because that's his memory. Why is his memory like that? He doesn't think of 100 things. When I've talked to him on my phone, he gives you 100% attention. He's not looking at his mobile phone and talking to you. He is not talking to 7 other people and talking to you. So I think his focus, morning to evening, he thinks about his restaurant, his customers, his guests, as he calls them. That's the focus I learned from him when I was having conversations with him before this, which is one of the reasons why I said we can learn a lot from this focus. If your mind is pointing to one thing, that's what I learned from him, you will do it.
In fact, I have a customer since 38 years, first customer, Mr. Chandrasekhar and one Mr. Ramana. They come for every day. They will be waiting by 5:50, 5:52. So without giving to them, I will not give my token to others. That is my commitment to them also, because they love so much. Some people asked Mr. Chandrasekhar, who is the first customer for coffee, why you come over here? He says, the first coffee will be remaining for me for the next coffee in the evening, he says.
So there's a question from Uday who wants 2 idlis. Uday, 2 idli ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಗಾಡಿ ತಗೊಳಪ್ಪ ನಿನ್ ಮೋಟರ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಕಾರು ಚಾಮರಾಜಪೇಟೆಗೆ ಹೋಗು ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಗಾಡಿ ನಿಲ್ಸು ಕ್ಯೂನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಗೊಳಪ್ಪ.
In fact, I wanted to share one thing. A small baby which is about 1.5 years old, they come every day, make them eat one idli without chutney and little chutney like that with the butter. So on Sunday they have a very big problem. They take the idli from other place, that their child will never eat that idli, it seems. It is so habituated with my idli. In fact, today I was trying with my cat. Today morning I was trying with my cat. I started giving early in the morning a small piece of idli to cat since almost 15-20 days. Today I told my boy to give it to him. He did not eat. because he touched that idli. He wants me to feed it. So like that, so much of attachment is with serving also. So that we should stick to that principles always.
Wonderful, sir. Any other at this point in time, Reshma, any one of you? I'm just calling out the names which I can see. Any one of you can ask a question.
I think Ashok's raised his hand to ask a question. Ashok, you can unmute and ask.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿ ಇದೆ, ಝೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ, ತರಿಸ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆಗಿ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಅಥವಾ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮುಂದೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಟೈಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 1.5 year ಇಂದ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿಯವ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಗೂ ಏನು ವಾದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾನೆ ಇತ್ತು. ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಶೇರ್, ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. We refuse to give because we don't want our customer to be penalized. So ultimately, for after the negotiation for 1.5 years, they came with no commission basis. We are the one to get that benefit. So we are passing on that commission, this one to our customers. We are not compromising on our pricing because they wanted to charge more, because if at all I give them commission, I have to charge little more to our customers, which I refused to and fought for that. Finally, they came to our agreement and we are giving at par, in fact.
Ashok, I know of cases where people order 1 karabat or 2 karabat depending on how much they need. Some people even take this to across another city. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದು ತಗೊಂಡು ಕ್ಯಾಂಟೀನ್ ಇಂದ ಅವ್ರ ಹಾಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಬಾಂಬೆಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗು ತಿಂತಾರೆ. There's been cases like that or other places.
Every day there will be a lot of persons will be going to airport. In fact, tomorrow, this Monday, we are sending about 80 packets of idli vada to Rajasthan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I'm going for catering to other countries also, like Bahrain, Dubai. If the wedding is there, they call on me. This December 5th, 6th, 7th, I have been invited to go to Rajasthan also. So like this, we get a lot of orders outside our city also.
That's brilliant, sir. Our ambassador is our food, and Nama Brahmins is our ambassador for Bangalore. And I'm sure not just Bangalore, as you've told Rajasthan and you've told outside India, food travels, good food travels very fast and vanishes very fast also. Last weekend, I think I was there. I had walked about 10-12 kilometers. I had a couple of idlis. They just vanished in no time. Of course, with lots of sambar. Any other questions? We are now nearing 4:45. It's typically a 45-minute session. Mr. Adiga is definitely busy because I'm sure customers are waiting to continue to come as he opens.
Sir, I have one last question, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, do you have any plans for opening a branch in Malleshwaram?
Pardon?
Malleshwaram branch ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ sir. Rajni BA from Malleshwaram. She is asking, Malleshwaram branch open ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
Now branch ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ interest ಇಲ್ಲ, but my next door is house is vacant. She can shift herself to my place. Thank you so much, Swami sir.
Thank you. Madhu, are you here with us? Any questions? And then
yes, sir. No, I think it was nice. No questions from my side. Yeah. Okay. Namaskara, sir.
Namaskara.
Glad that we could see you in this forum. I have been a staunch customer also to your coffee bar, and I never imagined that you would be talking to us like this. So nice to have you here and interact with us.
Thanks, Swami sir, and your team for selecting me.
Yeah. Thanks to Swami for bringing Mr. Radhakrishna Adiga, who has been quite busy as he narrated. I think it was quite inspiring and looks quite daunting, The kind of grit that you showed right from your BCom days, and even now, the same energy level goes. And it's not only your energy, whenever I walk into Brahmin's Coffee Bar, we could see that energy flowing from the doorstep till, all the sides everywhere. The customers, the employees, everywhere, that is quite buzzing, right? And one of my friends told this to me a few years back. I think it is worth mentioning here. Apart from all the specialities that we discussed, he said, Brahmin's Coffee Bar is the only place in Bangalore where you can eat a vada with only one spoon. And after he told that, I tasted it. It is indeed true. Everywhere else you have to hold a fork and then cut it, etc. Here it is so crispy and the same consistent taste year after year. And just one question I had, I don't know whether you want to answer it. You said your mother started the chutney and that became very famous. How come even today the same taste exists?
That we have learned it over a period of time and involvement. Involvement is very, very important.
Thank you. That shows the kind of process, that we run away from. No, I didn't know that you have this motto that any customer cannot stay there for 3.5 minutes. And if it is so, you refund, because I always found it so fast. There is a person sitting in your cash. I always amazed by the speed at which he calculates the change and returns it back. In many other places, what people do is if I give a 100 rupee bill, they will enter 100 copies of the change. And this person, before the bill comes out of the machine, he is ready with the change.
I used to be like from the day when the token system was not there. Yes. I used to even imagine that person may give 100 rupees or 50 rupees and keep the change always ready. By the time he comes to the counter for paying me, I used to say, just see, look at your change is there on the table.
Yeah. It's amazing, sir. Thank you. And I think I could draw a lot of parallels to Sasken values also, like integrity, as you rightly mentioned. Be it in paying taxes or even dealing with the rest of the partners that you deal with, and also respect for individual, both customers and your employees. I witnessed the first day cover release function in January, wherein the Department of Post released a function in commemorating the 56th year of your eatery. And I was stunned to see each and every person called upon to the dais and garlanded and handed over the memento personally by you. That shows the kind of relationship you build. And no wonder we see the same people year after year without any attrition. Only one change I noticed is that old man serving chutney is replaced recently, right? And also, that is excellent. No doubt. It just goes as we can witness. Whoever visits there can see that excellence coming in. And customer centricity, you only mentioned. And I was also told that, Swami again narrated, if someone tells you or, engages with the conversation and tells you the phone number, you will recall it any number of days later. So today I could, firsthand witness the kind of memory you carry. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining us. And
before completion of this session, I would like to say, very proudly to say that Mr. Rajiv Modi is one of my prime customer in my hotel.
Yes. Yes. Some of us know that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And,
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. I missed this busy schedule and spending this quality time with us.
Hope I stick to my words.
Yeah, it was quite inspiring. And thanks to Swami sir again for bringing Mr. Adiga. And thanks Vishal and Incom team for arranging this session.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. And please do share your feedback with the survey provided.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.